Trimming a door can seem like a simple job, but anyone who has tried it knows how tricky it can be. If you've just installed new thick carpeting, or maybe you're fitting an old door into a not-so-square frame, you'll need to shave a little off the bottom or an edge. The biggest challenge is making a perfectly straight and clean cut. A wavy line or a splintered edge can ruin the look of the entire door, and doors aren't cheap to replace. Getting it right the first time saves you a lot of headache, time, and money. It all comes down to having the right tool and the right technique. Two of the most common power saws in any workshop are the circular saw and the table saw. Both of these tools are fantastic, and both can be used to trim a door. However, they work in very different ways. Choosing the right one for your specific situation is the key to getting a professional quality result. It's not just about getting the cut done. It's about getting it done cleanly, accurately, and safely. A good carpenter knows that the tool you pick can make the difference between a job you're proud of and a job you have to do all over again. In this guide, we're going to break down everything you need to know about these two powerful tools. We will look at how each one works, what its strengths are, and where it might fall short when it comes to trimming doors. By the time we're finished, you'll have a much clearer idea of which saw is the best fit for your project, your skill level, and your workshop. You'll learn how to set yourself up for success, no matter which tool you decide to use. Let's get you ready to make that perfect cut with confidence. So, let's dive into the details. We will start by looking at the circular saw, a tool that nearly every homeowner and contractor has on hand. We'll discuss its portability and how to get the most accurate cuts possible from this handheld machine. Then we'll move on to the table saw, the heart of many wood shops, known for its incredible precision. We will compare them side by side to help you decide. Whether you're a seasoned pro or a weekend warrior, this information will help you tackle your next door trimming project like an expert. The circular saw is one of the most versatile tools you can own. Its biggest advantage is its portability. You can take this saw directly to the door, which means you don't have to lug a heavy door across your house or down to the workshop. This is especially helpful when you only need to trim a small amount and want to get the job done quickly. You can set up a pair of sawhorses right next to the doorway, make your cut, and have the door rehung in no time. Its ability to make angled or beveled cuts is also a huge plus, especially for older homes where door frames are rarely perfectly square. When used correctly, a circular saw can deliver impressive results. For trimming doors, the key is to use a blade with a high tooth count. A fine finish blade will give you a much cleaner cut with less splintering and tear out. This is very important for finished doors, especially those with a veneer surface that can easily chip. The speed of a circular saw allows you to make a steady, continuous cut from one end of the door to the other. This efficiency is why so many professionals rely on it for on-site jobs where time is of the essence. To get a perfectly straight cut with a circular saw, you need a guide. Relying on your eye alone is a recipe for a wavy line. A simple and effective method is to use a straight edge like a level or a factory-cut piece of plywood, clamped securely to the door. You measure the distance from the edge of your saw's base plate to the blade, and then you clamp your guide at that distance from your cut line. This creates a fence for your saw to run against, guaranteeing a straight cut every time. You can also buy specialized guide rails made for this purpose. Safety should always be your top priority when using any power tool. Always wear safety glasses to protect your eyes from flying dust and debris. Before you start cutting, make sure the door is firmly supported on sawhorses so it won't move or pinch the blade. Keep the power cord out of the cutting path to avoid a dangerous accident. And always let the blade come to a complete stop before you lift the saw away from the workpiece. Taking these simple precautions will help ensure your project is successful and you stay safe. Now let's talk about the table saw. This tool is the centerpiece of most woodworking shops for a very good reason. It excels at making incredibly accurate and repeatable cuts. Unlike a circular saw, where the tool moves over the material, with a table saw, you move the material through the stationary blade. This setup provides a level of stability and control that is hard to match with a handheld tool. When you need to trim a door to an exact dimension, the table saw is often the best tool for the job. Its power allows it to cut through even thick, solid core doors with ease. The biggest advantage of a table saw for this task is its adjustable rip fence. This fence is a guide that runs parallel to the saw blade. You can set it to the exact width you need, lock it in place, and know that every inch of your cut will be perfectly straight and precisely the same distance from the door's edge. This is ideal for ensuring the door fits squarely within its frame. Fine-tuning the fence allows for tiny adjustments, so you can shave off just a fraction of an inch with complete confidence, something that is much harder to do with a handheld saw. Using a table saw to trim a door does require some careful setup. Doors are large and can be awkward to handle, so you need to make sure you have adequate support. In-feed and out-feed rollers or tables are essential to hold the weight of the door as you guide it into and away from the blade. Without this support, the door can dip or wobble, leading to a dangerous kickback situation or an inaccurate cut. It's always a good idea to have a helper to assist you in guiding the door smoothly across the table surface. While the table saw offers superior accuracy, it also demands respect and a focus on safety. Always use a push stick or push block, especially as your hands get near the blade. This keeps your fingers safely away from the spinning teeth. Stand to the side of the cutting path, not directly behind it, to avoid injury from a potential kickback. Make sure the blade guard and riving knife are in place, as these are crucial safety features. The table saw is a powerful machine, and following these safety rules is non-negotiable for every single cut. So, which saw should you choose? The answer really depends on your specific needs. Let's compare them directly. The circular saw wins on portability and convenience. If you are working on site and only need to trim 1 or 2 doors, it's often the most practical choice. It's quick to set up and gets the job done without having to move the door far. However, achieving perfect accuracy requires a good guide and a steady hand. The table saw, on the other hand, is the champion of precision. Its stability and rip fence make it the go-to tool for perfectly straight, factory-quality cuts. Your decision should be influenced by a few key factors. First, consider the project size. If you are trimming multiple doors for a whole house renovation, the repeatable accuracy of a table saw might save you time in the long run. Second, think about the level of precision required. For a high-end custom door or a tricky fit, the table saw's ability to make fine adjustments is invaluable. Finally, consider what tools you have available and are comfortable using. If you don't own a table saw, a circular saw with a good guide rail can produce excellent results. Here are my recommendations. Choose the circular saw if you value portability, are trimming a door in place, and only have 1 or 2 doors to do. It's also the right choice if you need to make a beveled cut to match an angled door jamb. Choose the table saw if you need the highest level of accuracy, are trimming multiple doors to the same size, or are working with expensive solid core or veneer doors where a perfect edge is critical. It's the best option if you have a dedicated workshop space and a helper to manage the material safely. In the end, both the circular saw and the table saw are capable tools for trimming a door. The key is understanding their strengths and using the right techniques. Whichever saw you choose, I encourage you to practice on a piece of scrap wood first. This helps you get a feel for the tool and dial in your setup before you make the final cut on your door. Building your skills and confidence is the most important part of any project. I hope this helps you make the right choice. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What are your favorite tips for trimming doors? Share your questions and experiences in the comments below.